everybody. This is Fish on Fridays at the Fish in Newport. Say, a lot of people don't know where the Fish is. This is a Fish. This is in front of the Hebert building in Newport. This is the Hebert building. So hi, this is, what's your name?
Jack.
Jack, this is Jack. And Jack's got a sign here about ending corporate welfare.
I got lots of signs.
He's got lots of signs.
Sign up.
Sign up.
Sign up.
So I guess that means if you're are you a head of a corporation? Do you make millions of dollars a year? Come and sign up for your corporate welfare.
It's sad when you get people that have billions and billions and trillions of dollars that are still getting free money from the government and buying regulations so they can get off scot-free and not even paying taxes. It's just, there's so many. I have lots of signs, but this is the one I'm holding today. So I hope everybody out there takes a stand to stand up for truth. It's truth against power. Don't be afraid. It's okay. We're all in this together, and if we don't say something today, we will be losing our rights tomorrow.
We'll come back and talk about that a little bit more. Actually, I want to speak with this lady over here. Hi, and what's your name?
Terry. My name's Terry.
Hi, Terry. And you're holding a sign that says, Power to the peaceful.
Yes.
So, did you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes. We people don't realize that we have the power, not our government, not even the people we send to Congress. We're the ones that have all the power. We decide that there should be no more killing. We should all stand up and say our piece. Considering what's going on with the VA hospitals these days, I think more people are going to realize that we've been bamboozled. And all the money that's going into for the veterans are being split up for bonuses and wasteful spending.
So we're sending people off to war. They're giving their lives for things that they believe they're helping their country.
Right.
And when they come back here and they're injured and have psychiatric difficulties, there's no money to take care of them.
And now we understand that the soldiers are thought to be the menace when they come back from their tour of duties.
No, and you know, whatever you feel about a war, we have to remember that the people who go to fight wars are people who love their country. There may be other ways they could show that, but by golly, they've picked the way that they think is important, and they are Americans. And we need to take care of them as fellow Americans.
Yeah, I just saw on TV today that the VA has 700 lawyers. 700 lawyers. They have more lawyers than they have doctors, probably.
Wow, that's terrible.
That is terrible.
And you know, one of the problems with war nowadays is that soldiers in 1914, early part of the century, they died. They died in their millions in wars. But nowadays we've got better medical care and different kinds of weapons. And instead of dying, some of these soldiers are coming back so impaired that their lives will never be normal. We've kept them alive, but we've kept them alive in a state of hell.
Yeah.
We need to think about that, and we need to think about putting the money in to make their lives tolerable.
And I hope the soldiers out there, I'm sure the veterans and that, need to stand up together and remember the bonus army. If anyone remembers after World War II, they were promised to get a bonus after they left the army. And it never came, so they went and marched on Washington, and they set up their own Occupy city, and they were routed out by their own military. So they didn't get nothing except violence and denigration. So it's just repeating itself over and over again.
Yeah, I think the whole VA scandal has also pointed out some of the ill effects of government bureaucracies, which become very large and there's no one to supervise what they're doing. wrongdoers can sort of get away with, I think Terry's nodding here, can sort of get away with doing bad things and nobody's monitoring them.
That's right. There are a lot of good people that work for VA, but then again, there's a lot that just pass things through.
Right.
I think you in a bureaucracy like that, I think you just become a number,
Right.
not a human soul. Even though you fought for your country and you were there with all the best of intentions, you come back and you become a number. And it's not fair for any of our boys, girls, sons and daughters to have to live through this. It's time to bring the guys home, and it's time to take care of them. Amen.
Hi. Okay, so what would you like to say?
Lower the rent.
Lower
Cost
rent,
of living
yes.
is way too high around
Yes,
here
so-
for what the employers are paying.
So for what the employers are paying. So we have a big disparity between the rent. What are rents like around here in the Northeast Kingdom?
So far, what I've seen, about $600, $700 for a 1 or a 2-bedroom apartment.
And that
When you
includes,
figure minimum, that doesn't include anything.
That doesn't
And
include
then when
anything.
you figure minimum wage is about $7.83 to $8 an hour.
they just raised it to $8.77. But
Okay,
that's-
so even at $8.77, if you take out that chunk off of an average of about 28 hours to 30 hours per week that the average employer is paying, and then you figure in the cost of your utilities on top of health insurance, on top of car insurance, on top of gas and food, there's nothing left.
Right.
You're lucky if you can buy a pack of ramen noodles every week.
You know, we were just talking about that because basically, you know, there's a lot of folks who think that just because you can, you got a roof over your head and you got a TV you can sit in front of and watch, and maybe you got a phone, that you're not poor. But
Oh, no.
But you know, if you have nothing left over from your paycheck, especially if you have children or plan to have children, you're not going to be sending those kids to a college.
Exactly.
You're not going to send them.
Yep.
You're not going to be able to provide good health
I have
care.
a 12-year-old daughter
Yeah.
now, and I have one on the way, and there's nothing there financially.
There's nothing left over. That's it. You know, what you really end up with is really it's pretty discouraging.
Yeah.
And the fact that
absolutely.
folks get up every day and keep doing it, I mean, they ought to be given a medal. Because,
Right.
because, you know, it's really above and beyond a call of duty to continue to slave away at these jobs that aren't paying enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Yep.
thank you. And
Yeah.
anything else you'd
No,
like to
that's
say?
it.
That's
Thank
it.
you
That's a
very
good
much.
issue. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, open to the subject.
So yeah, so actually, another subject I've been concerned about is militarization of local police departments, and I understand the Department of Homeland Security has offered Newport City Police an armored vehicle. Jack, do you have any thoughts on
Yeah,
that?
they also just offered them a boat for the lake, and the militarization of the police is not what was intended. We're not even supposed to have a standing army. The military basically used to work for the corporations, but even the military is being shut down now because what we're doing now is we're hiring mercenaries in other countries. We're going out there with a small group of soldiers to train other countries' citizens to be the soldiers. So that way it takes the sweat off our boys, so it doesn't look like anybody's dying. Still thousands of civilians and other people are dying. It's the same difference. Just because Americans aren't dying doesn't mean that it's okay to buy soldiers.
There's also the issue of drones, and that's another military issue where we can sort of make it cleaner to kill people by having people sit in little places in Texas and use drones, and then they go home and play with their kids. And actually, some members of the military have spoken out about how hard that is on them mentally, that they go kill people during the day and then they go home and supposed to be not natural with their
Right.
children and their families, and it's
Yeah.
really hard to do. But
And I don't know if anyone knows about General Butler. He was, back in the days, they had corporate people come in and try to get him to militarily overthrow the government. And he went along with their plot for a while, but then he presented himself in Congress and told them about it. And he also felt guilty for going around the world working for corporations, supposedly spreading democracy, but the military was just protecting the oil fields and the farming and the drug trade. The military was just working for the corporations.
So back to the police department here, where police are supposed to protect us and help us out when we're in a jam. I'm kind of wondering what the police departments might need an armored vehicle for.
Yeah.
Who would they use that against?
Well, they are the whole military is gearing up for civilian subjection. Put down riots, put down uprisings, because people are getting upset. And I'm not asking anybody to take up arms or anything, but people are getting upset, and that the government's becoming frightened that in America we might look like Brazil, with the streets filled with thousands and thousands of people.
So the armored vehicle would be there so that it could sort of plow through the crowds or push people back, or be safe so that
Right.
could shoot at crowds and
the police are
So
afraid
it's-
of their own citizens.
yeah, that's not what we hire police people to do. Police officers
They used to
are
be called peace officers,
Right.
but they don't do that anymore. Now they're police officers.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
So I guess I personally would be not in favor of the Newport Police Department having one of these armored vehicles. It doesn't sound appropriate at all
Not at all.
to anything we would like to be doing here in Newport.
Not at all.
So we're back here at the 99 Gallery and Center in Newport. It's a little quieter over here. And the 99 is an art gallery where you can come and enjoy work by local artists. And also it's a center for people to come and have a cup of coffee, use the Wi-Fi, look at some of our books we have available from the lending library, and talk with our neighbors. Just drop in anytime. In the afternoon, we're open generally 7 days a week, sometimes from noon, sometimes from 2. Hi, we're doing a revolutionary here. This is a revolutionary thing you can do. Plant stuff. This is gardening activism. So, but actually, this is Tom. Did you have anything you want to say, Tom?
I think it's a sorry state of affairs that the jury in this country is supposed to have the right to judge the facts and the law. In the case of the wind towers in Lowell, the judge instructed the jury that it didn't matter if they were standing on a property that was owned by someone that only had a lease to the property. And because of that, the jury was confused, and they ruled in favor of the wind tower project. And that because the judge instructed them wrongly. That's judicial activism.
So not what the people really wanted, because they were confused by the judge's
and they were
statements.
Instructed by the judge, I believe, wrongly.
So that was in the paper today, was it? What was the outcome of that? What was the outcome of that?
The people are going to court. There's the remainder of them are going to court, still fighting it. In fact, that's their argument. I believe I have it right anyway. That the judge instructed the jury. They didn't say he instructed them wrong, but that he told them that it didn't matter. I'd have to look up his exact wording. But it didn't matter if the company only had a lease, and it didn't matter if the land was owned by someone else. That they arrested them for trespassing.
So in many cases, there also is a difference between letter of the law and the intent of the law. Sometimes you could be correct in the letter of the law, and wrong in the intent, or even the letter of the law may not necessarily be a moral
The judge has
judgment.
no right to instruct the jury. The jury has a right, is supposed to have the right, to judge the law and the facts. In this case, the judge intervened and told them more or less what the law was. The people can reject the law. If the people don't believe the law is right, they can reject it. But this judge told them what the law was, and they had to base their judgment on what he said the law was.
Okay.
And that is unconstitutional from its beginning.
Thank you, Tom. And it shows that you should read the newspaper and see what's going on in your town. Thank you. So, fish on Fridays at noon at the Fish. Brought to you by Northeast Kingdom 99%. We are an Occupy group, which is an offshoot of Occupy Wall Street. Occupy Wall Street didn't disappear, it just went out into communities. We are a community group, not a protest group. We are encouraging people to speak out about issues that are important in their community, strengthen community ties, and help people seek solutions for problems that they face in their communities.